Yes, he was already on there. All right, it is 6:59. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order with a reminder that this meeting is being audio and video recorded. Ms. Williams, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, Chairman Alexander. Dr. Shantae Jones.
Here.
Ms. Ellen Slobodnik.
Here.
Mr. Michael Cummings.
Here.
Mr. Paul Alexander.
Here.
Mr. Chairman Alexander, Ms. Stacy Seiberling will be absent today.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. All right. Dr. Jones, would you like to lead us in a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Jones. All right. Say approval of the agenda. Can I get a, excuse me, a motion and a second to approve the agenda? Is that right?
You skipped additions.
I skipped.
You did?
That's why. I was like, something didn't feel right. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Chairman Alexander, there are no additions nor corrections to the agenda.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Consent agenda. I'm assuming everyone has had a chance to review it. I know there were some questions on the consent agenda going back and forth on email, so if you guys still have questions, staff has already indicated that they're happy to answer questions. So if you still have stuff in consent agenda you want some answers on, feel free to email. But that being the case, can I get a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to Superintendent Spotlight.
Dr. Grosser will be presenting the Superintendent Spotlight this evening.
There's never any mouse when I come up here. I'm always first. I'm the guinea pig. All right, well, if Matt can drive me in the back, we'll do that. If not, I'll go ahead and start talking. Hopefully by the time you guys get up, something's happening here. Good evening, Chairman Alexander. There we go. Thank you, Matt. And members of the board. Workforce readiness is essential to developing skill sets for students in Virginia public schools to be successful beyond high school graduation. The demand for highly skilled jobs over the next decade in Virginia will continue to increase and can be filled by qualified public school students. We recognize increased collaboration with business and industry, the community college system, and the core school setting is necessary. We recognize that with limited funding, resources, facilities, partnerships, and qualified CTE staff impede student access to workforce readiness opportunities. The Virginia School Boards Association recognizes the month of April 2024 as VSBA Workforce Readiness Month, with the intention to advocate and increase awareness about the supports necessary to promote workforce development opportunities that enable students to be prepared to succeed in a global economy. And I know many times when we talk about Spotlight, we do highlight our CTE programs and the success of our CTE programs. So two things that pop up just this week to point out in relationship to this is one of these that I talked about said increased collaborations with business and industry. And on Wednesday, we have Fat and Hamad's here. We have a coffee and collab coming up where our business partners and leaders from the community are going to come in. And we're going to talk about different opportunities that we have for our students and how we can continue to build that relationship. We also just today, I was reached out to by one of the major news affiliates in Washington, D.C. to come and highlight our CNA program. So hopefully we'll see that happen pretty soon, and we'll all be watching ourselves and our students on TV showing off what they do. So we want to recognize the work of our staff and students around workforce readiness this month. Next up, this is not a spotlight, it's like a preview spotlight, which we've never done before. But I do want to take just a moment to talk about Mr. Darnell Green. You all have heard that he was recognized recently by Dr. Lisa Coons, the State Superintendent for the Virginia Department of Education, as the Region 4 Teacher of the Year. That is huge news. So now the next step is he's going to go up against all the other regions, the Teacher of the Year from all the other regions, and we're going to find out sometime in May who the winner is. I've read them all. I think Mr. Green has a really good chance, so fingers crossed there. But we're going to wait and spotlight him until we find out that bit of information. He also, on May 6th, is going to the governor's mansion, and he's going to spend the day with the governor and the First Lady of Virginia and some other educators. He's going to participate in being a task force there, looking at some of the major issues that the state's facing in education right now. So not only is he going to represent us as a teacher and a leader, he's going to go out there and really do some of the work around what we can do for our students. So this picture is from last week. He was recognized with a proclamation from the governing body. So they brought him in last week. So we gave him this week off, and we're going to bring him back in May, and we're going to spotlight him in May. That concludes our spotlight tonight. Thank you, guys.
public comments? All right. Moving on to public comments. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
No, Chairman Alexander.
All right. Moving on to new business, the Manassas Park City Schools Summer Learning Program.
It's my pleasure this evening to introduce Dr. Marbury, Ms. Rupert, and Ms. Schisler. They're going to provide an overview of our summer learning program this July. Dr. Marbury?
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. As Ms. Kelso just said, I'm Dr. Kristen Marbury. I'm Assistant Principal 2 at Manassas Park Middle School, and I'm joined by Ms. Sam Schisler and Ms. Mackenzie Rupert, so we're excited to be here this evening. As is with everything that we do, we always focus on our strategic plan and making sure that we're in alignment with our community vision, and that is what founded our basis for our summer program. So this year, our theme will be blasting into summer learning. So we may have been encouraged by our most recent event with the eclipse happening, but we are excited to have an elementary and secondary focus of blasting into summer learning. So lots of our lessons and themes will align with that. So our design team, obviously we just introduced ourselves here for you, but also pictured here with our roles. And Miss Samantha Schisler is going to be our elementary school coordinator, and Mackenzie Rupert will be our secondary school coordinator, and you'll hear from them in just a moment. But as is with anything we do within schools, it takes more than just one person's vision or even three people's vision. And so there is a wide range of people who have really helped to cultivate the summer experience we're hoping to have. And so some of their names are also included here. They're parts of our instructional team. They're some of our school administrators. It really does take a lot of focused efforts and combined visions when you're designing something that impacts the entire school division. So I'll invite Ms. Schisler up to come up and talk about our elementary programming.
Hi, I'm Ms. Schisler. I'm going to highlight some of the programs we're going to be doing at the elementary campus this summer. We're excited to bring back Bridge to Kindergarten, which is our program we've designed for students who are rising into kindergarten with no prior kindergarten or preschool experience, to prepare them to have a successful transition and starting at a school. We choose these students by looking at who's registering, and whoever marks that they've never been to a kindergarten setting will get invited to this program in order to help them get ready for their first time in a school setting. We are going to continue to have our English Learners program and our summer school program for kindergarten through 4th grade held at MPE. And we're excited to have the robotics program return to the elementary campus and help them prepare for the fall 2024 LEGO League season. That's the first time we're doing that. And again, we'll have English language learner and summer school for those students as well. These are some of the logistics for our programs. Our hours are going to be from 9 a.m. to 1. Our location is going to be MPE. We're going to make sure there's a recess included in the daily schedule. Transportation is provided, counseling services, and meals. Those are some of the positions we're going to be offering. We will also have ESY, which is extended school year. Our ratio we would like to keep at 12 to 1, and our L program will be 10 to 1. Mackenzie is going to come and talk about the secondary.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Rupert. I'm one of the school counselors at Manassas Park Elementary School. But during the summer, I decided to go up with the older kiddos and see kiddos that I haven't seen in a while. So some of our programs that we're going to be having at the secondary is the Bridge to Middle School. So having those 5th grade students go up to the secondary campus and get the ability to gain rapport with the 6th grade teachers, which we found has been pretty effective in years past. We're also going to have an EL program in our summer school. Okay. Some of the logistics, just the middle school side, it's going to be an hour earlier than the MPE, so 8 a.m. to 12. It is going to be located at Manassas Park High School. Transportation provided, counseling, meals, there's the positions. We have a little larger of a ratio, 15 to 1, and then our L's program is 10 to 1. And then our secondary, this is something that I'm really excited about. They're bringing back the MPHS US VA government program, which was ESSER funded. And that allows some of our Ls to gain information about US VA government for their upcoming program, or it also allows them to do credit recovery. And then we're going to have this SAGE EMT program, which we're going to learn more about from our CTE. And then I'm really excited about the HQ WBL Summer Learning Opportunity, which is going to allow high school students being able to get half of credit of learning while volunteering at the elementary campus, because we had some pretty awesome students, one on the board, that came to us last year and was like, hey, we really want a volunteer opportunity. And so we're like, that's a lot to take on right now, but let's try it next year. So this is a pretty awesome career strategy course that's going to come to life in a hybrid externship opportunity. And then for the high school, we're also going to be utilizing APEX for credit recovery, which I'm going to be working a lot with Mr. Bunner for that. And then I'm going to cross it back to Dr. Marbury.
Thank you. So our final slide is just highlighting our all-in summer tutoring. So again, like we said, nothing happens in silos, and we are always working together. So all-in summer tutoring will actually be interwoven into our summer program. So you'll see the dates for Manassas Park Elementary School will be running the exact same dates as summer school. There'll be transportation and snack provided, and they'll run that same similar schedule of 9 to 1 just to keep that consistency for our families. And they'll be utilizing the Imagine Math and Lexia for tutoring, again, keeping those 10 to 1 small ratios. At Manassas Park Middle School, for our rising 6th through 9th graders, it's going to be a 5-week program, so a little bit extended. They're going to start in June, and then it's going to run through to August 2nd. There is a break in there for the 4th of July. That week there won't be any tutoring running, and then similar to keeping the schedule similar to our summer program, it'll be 8 to noon. Same for transportation and snack, and then Imagine Math and Lexia, again, for the curriculum, keeping those small 10 to 1 ratios. So our summer school team for the traditional approach, and then also the coordinators of the tutoring program, have been working very closely together. We've been having meetings on a regular basis to just make sure that we are doing the best that we can to meet our students' needs and not kind of stepping on each other's toes. We're doing it all together and in accordance with what we feel would be best for our communities, and then also keeping it very clear as to which students are directed to our tutoring program that need that more individualized prescriptive curriculum that's adjusting to their unique needs, and then within our summer school looking at students who need maybe or just a little bit behind, but kind of our bubble students that need that extra support so that they're not subjected to summer learning loss that sometimes happens over those summer months. So it's been a lot of planning taking place, and we're excited to keep pushing forward in the weeks ahead. So thank you for your time. Do you have any questions for us?
I do have a question. Looking at the secondary summer learning program, the SAGE EMT program, are they going to walk out with their EMT 1 certification?
That is such a perfect transition question to the ladies that will be up next presenting. So I'm going to let them take that one, but I'm sure that they do have a great answer for you.
Thank you.
Anybody?
I just wanted to thank you guys for putting this together. It looks very comprehensive, and it sounds like there will be some really great opportunities for the students this summer. So thank you, ladies, for all of your hard work already before the summer's even started.
So one question related, I know you emphasized this small ratio. Does that mean we're capped at a number of kids, or if you get a higher demand, will that have to grow, or will we bring in more staff? Like, how's that set up?
It's a great question. So we're actually really thrilled right now with how many staff members are interested and have applied for summer school. We actually have some of the highest numbers than we've seen in years. And that's just a tribute to kind of how we've taken different approaches to designing summer school. So right now we do really have a lot of flexibility to be able to take quite a lot of students, even with our small ratios currently. So, but if we did need to, absolutely, we would increase those ratio sizes.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anyone? All right.
Awesome,
One
thank
last
you.
congrat. I did not realize you were now Dr. Marbury, so congratulations to
Thank
that.
you.
All right, so moving on to the update on Manassas Park City Schools CTE and WBL programs.
I'd like to ask Ms. Wolf and Ms. Hamad Halak to come forward. They're going to provide an update on our CTE and work-based learning programs.
Maybe. No. No? No, thank you. I need the other presentation, Matt.
There we go.
Good evening, Chair Alexander, members of the board. As Pam, or Ms. Council shared with you, I am Lisa Wolf. And this is Mrs. Hamad Halak, right? Is that right? And we are happy to be here with you all today to share some updates around our CTE program. I did not know that this was Workforce Development Month. That's a convenient tie-in. But I'm pretty proud of what we have going on and happy to be here to share this with you all today. As Dr. Marbury shared with you, everything we do in CTE, just like everything we do across Manassas Park City Schools, is tied in and feeds into the work that we're doing on our strategic plan. I am proud to say that, in my view, Pillar 1 and Pillar 2 are really highly connected to our CTE programs. CTE is all about reimagining what the school experience should look like and being relevant and rigorous in terms of helping students be prepared for the world. And my partner here in crime is actively working on growing our community and the connections that we have to bring the world into our high school and our middle school, and also to bring our students out into the world. So that is critical to what we're trying to create with CTE programs. And so conveniently, we just recently wrote a strategic plan that says this is what we want to do. Thank you for that. So these are the couple of things that we plan to talk about tonight. We will probably move through this fairly quickly, so if I'm going fast and you have a question, just jot it down. We'll catch up to it at the end. But I want to respect everyone's time, given that we've had several presentations this evening. I'm going to share with you some of our data that we've recently received from VDOE. I'm also going to talk to you about our comprehensive local needs assessment and the Perkins plan that is driven by that needs assessment, and just share briefly our pathway documents that represent the options that we offer at our high school for our students. And then I'm going to toss over to my counterpart here, and she's going to share with you the immense amount of work that she has done since January to really improve our record keeping and our opportunities for our students to have high quality work-based learning experiences across the board. And then we'll have a couple of talk about our EMT program and other things over the summer. So every year, these indicators that are here represented in this table are what our CTE programs are measured on at the state level. As you can see, there are a handful of these that we did not meet this year. Some of them are to be expected. We haven't met them in the past. Two of those things would be our pass rates in science and our work-based learning experiences. CTE is held accountable for how our CTE completers perform on their core content area courses. So you can see that reading, math, and science are the three areas. We are also held accountable for how our graduation rates for our CTE completers. It's not surprising that we didn't meet on science. That mimics what we're seeing across the division in the area of science. So it can be expected that that would happen in our CTE completers as well. Also, for our work-based learning, we haven't yet, until just this year, thank you very much, by the way, had a person that could dedicate their entire day and their time to thinking about how do we document and track and grow the opportunities that we have for work-based learning. A lot of the work that that Fenton has been working on is really just figuring out what is already happening and how do we document what is already happening. And so I'm proud to say that she's really nailed that since January. She's really come in and said, all right, we know we have these good things, we know we have these relationships, and how do we make sure that we're giving students and our building credit for these things that are already happening. And then next year, she's going to take over the whole rest of the area and all the things. One of the things that was surprising to me on here is about the non-traditional program concentration. That is about whether we have females in courses that are traditionally male, like you would think things like females in STEM courses, or males in nurse aid programs, those kinds of things. That's what they're talking about with non-traditional program concentrations. The state has changed some of those rules and how they're tracking that data point specifically over the last couple of years. I think that that has contributed to the reason why we didn't meet this. I also think that we can do better how we track and record the data that we're. I think maybe there are some discrepancies. Anecdotally, it doesn't feel like that to me, but I would like our data to reflect. So part of what we're going to do and part of the conversations that have already been started is, all right, what are we doing? How do we know that what we're reporting is accurate to what's actually happening in our high school? And so some of those conversations have already started. They will continue on Thursday when we have our CT and building admin meeting to really kind of wrap up the school year so that when we submit our master schedule collection report and our student enrollment demographics report, that we make sure that we're reporting the most accurate data. And to at the very least, see progress to next year. And if any board member is interested in seeing more than just the met, not met, I do have this entire report that I can share with. All you have to do is send me an email. I can send you the hard numbers and the way the report is actually written out. So this goes on to our comprehensive local needs assessment. Every 2 years, we are required to write a narrative comprehensive local needs assessment. And then we need to submit a chart that says, how are we going to say what we wrote in this document translate to what we're spending money on in our Perkins plan? And so this table just shares with you the different sections of that needs assessment and where we submitted to them the rating in terms of our programs and what are the tasks and the strategy that we're going to use to assess this. And I won't read all of this. I'm confident that you all can read, but I'll just highlight some of the things in here. We need to really support our teachers. Staffing is huge. We have really struggled to not just recruit, but also retain the teachers that we have. We also have several career switchers who are brilliant in their content areas, but still have a little bit of learning about the pedagogy of a high school classroom. And so we're really trying to focus on how do we provide them the supports that they need to be successful to show up for our students. Kids are not going to want to go into pathways, whether I have them or not, if they don't feel loved and cared for in those spaces. And I want to make sure that our teachers have the skills to have students feel welcome and engaged in those spaces. So that's one of the focuses. And what that looks like is purchasing curriculum resources, providing specialized PD on our PD days. In fact, I just received an email that came up from we are going to have a session on design thinking for our CTE staff and the pre-service week that is put on at the Fab Lab at Nova's Manassas campus. We just confirmed that that will happen on that day. So those kinds of things that invest back into the teachers and show them that we appreciate them and their time and are investing in their skill and their growth in that area. Let's see. We also, buy equipment and fun stuff. That helps people want to stay. And then we're also, in terms of our work-based learning and program access, we're especially in that area, but across all areas, focusing on being equitable and making sure that everyone has access to the information that they need to have to ensure that they can make the choices that are relevant to them and their pathways. I'll give you an example. When we had our CTE fair back in February, where we had high school students sharing the CTE pathways with other high school students during lunches. We had students that were really excited about our nurse aid program, but and were rising seniors, but had no idea they had prerequisites. So even though they really wanted to be in that space, they didn't have the courses that they need to even apply. And so one of our growth areas is how do we get this information to students and families early and often so that everyone has the information that they need to make the choices that are relevant to them and their journey. I'm going to run through these fairly quickly. We have created one-pagers that describe each of our pathways. These are just examples of potential courses. They are not like locked in, you have to take this or you won't. The idea, generally speaking, in CT is that you want to have lots of entry and exit points, right? You want to have kids have all the options all the time, that you can get in when you're ready, and if you decide, you know what, that's not for me, let me try something else. So we want to make sure that they have options. And so these are just designed to help kids know that whole giving students information early and often. These are some documents that we've recently added into our program. So there's one first, we've got business and marketing, computer science and engineering, early childhood education, health sciences, human services, mechatronics, which is also called smart automation. And with that, I'm going to stop talking and hand it over to this expert.
One other thing about the one-pagers, like Lisa was saying, about getting the information to the students just often and being purposeful. When we had that CTE fair, we were mindful of the students that were representing each pathway, but also every single pathway had the one-pagers available for all students. So just kind of distributing that information. One of the things we wanted to highlight was number of students taking part in our work-based learning experiences. When we closed last year, we got credit for 7 opportunities. This year, we will get well over 100. So not bad for a half year's work since we haven't had that. One of the things we're really, really excited about is one of our partnerships with Old Town Contractors, which is our Coffee with Contractors event. As you know, Manassas Park has a high density of, a high population of people in the trades. And our school system doesn't necessarily have the ability to build out trade courses quite yet. We're getting there. So one of the things that we did was collaborate with these folks, and every single month we have different members of the community come in and represent a trade. So tomorrow we have HVAC, we've had welding, we have electrical coming, we've had just general contractors come, and they talk about not only what does the pathway look like, but these are folks that are recruiting our students. There are jobs. They're coming in and they're saying, if you got a resume, bring it with you. I want to employ you. And our student interest has been amazing. We actually have to kind of sometimes cap the number of students, and then we get them to the next one, get them to the next one. These are just photos and information about some of the partnerships we've already had. I know that I have a student that's already interviewing for one of the roofing positions. So, you know, things like that, keeping it relevant, but also keeping those doors open to our community members. The people who were
Jim Rowe.
Oh, and obviously the Jim Rowe Foundation, which they will be highlighted in a minute. But part of that partnership is also getting these members are part of our community. They are from Manassas Park. They are from the local area. They know us, they know our community, and they know our students. So tomorrow we'll be doing another event with them. Then we had the National Women in Roofing externship. This was incredibly fun, where our young ladies took part, 11 of our young ladies took part in a full week training with GAF Roofing, and this is the training that they do for roofers. So it's not like a watered down version, and they talked about that. Then we had extension activities that they worked with me. They created their LinkedIn, they created their resumes, they talked about job readiness skills, we did mock interviews. They went through and understood, well, a woman in trades, what are the doors and opportunities that we have? But in addition to that, they were set up with different mentors. So the National Women in Roofing wanted to mentor these young ladies and talk to them about, it doesn't just start and end in the labor jobs. There's marketing, there's design, there's just the science portion of it, like what goes into the shingle. So those students who are really STEM focused, there's a pathway for you. And in addition to that, our young ladies that took part in this also got their OSHA 10 certification, which was really nice. Another one of those, first thing to go onto their resume. We have our wonderful young group of CNAs. I know we've kind of highlighted our CNA group before. One of the especially unique opportunities that they have is that they are doing their clinical hours at a hospice care center. And to watch these young adults rise to the occasion and what they've been able to accomplish during their clinicals is admirable. At this point, we have 3 different CNA companies, whatever, that are honestly fighting for our students. We have Comfort Keepers coming. We have obviously the folks from Capital Caring trying to recruit our students because they have excelled, and our goal is that when they graduate from the CNA program, each one of them is graduating with a contract for hire. So we're really excited about what they've been able to do. And they will finish their clinicals next week. And we have been invited again to do a national radio broadcast on Executive Leader Radio. This is our third year doing this, and our students actually just recorded the first show, and then the next show is going to be next week, where they are on a nationally broadcast radio show. So if you guys want to listen, it's airing on March 14th. May 14th, sorry. May 14th. And one of the things that they do is they're able to go in, and the students are the ones who are interviewing executives. So they pick CEOs from Philly all the way down to Richmond, and the students are the ones that are leading the radio broadcast. They take part in it. We break it up into smaller groups. So we had our first taping, then we have our second taping coming up. The focus for this group is some of our business students, so we opened up the opportunity to them. And this is something that's new this year and has grown by leaps and bounds. These are adaptive and adaptive plus students who are going into the community and working. It's like every time we turn around, we have a different partnership. So we have the students who are going in and they're working with the preschool program at the rec. Then we have students who are working in Food Lion. They're working on tagging, bagging, organizing. We have folks that started at CVS. We have another one that's starting tomorrow at CVS. And then Grace United Methodist has the students go through from creating, pamphlets and things for services, to cleaning, to organizing, to sorting. So they do a lot of different jobs, and our adaptive and adaptive plus students have really, really enjoyed those experiences. And they are out of the building 4 days a week. So they're rocking and rolling. And this year they'll be getting externship credits for that because they had the Education for Employment course semester 1, and now they're in the community working. And this is another program that we've been doing. This is our second year with Future Kings. Last year, the students worked on getting their CompTIA certification. This year, they are doing their Google Cybersecurity certificate. So we have 11 students, as of this morning, that will be graduating with their Google Cybersecurity certificate, and they will also be getting externship hours. So we checked on their money. And 12 college credits. And that's run through the Future Kings mentoring organization. And we've had several students doing service learning projects. This is just one that was highlighted, an individual student that was working on service learning, and one of the things that he really wanted to focus on was environmental awareness. This was even before Earth Day, so happy Earth Day. But one of the things that he did was try to get a recycling program going, and one of the things was service learning, very different than community service. We don't do anything. It is student-led, students organize it. So having him work with Manassas Park Public Works, having him work with our janitorial staff, having him work with our maintenance staff, and he arranged everything top to bottom, and he was able, I don't know if you see those bins, they're about a little over 3 feet high, and he got 6 of them filled in 4 school days. And, that was really important to him. He arranged for pickup. He was able to, write thank you notes to Manassas Park Public Works, who was amazing to work with, so we appreciate that. We have another service learning project happening later this week where some of our students, several of our project graduation and L students, will be hosting the freshman orientation. So they're organizing it top to bottom. We're sitting back. I provide paper. That is about it. And then, my favorite, this summer, sorry, Miles, I know this is a year late and you're so upset about it. So this summer, we are going to be hosting 2 different types of externships. Our students that have been identified for the education pathway will have the opportunity to apply to work at the elementary campus this summer. So they're going to be doing a hybrid where on Mondays they'll come in and they'll be part of the Career Strategies course. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they will go and work at the elementary campus, and they will be supporting our elementary staff during summer school. And we're really excited. The prerequisite for that is that the students must have completed Intro to Early Childhood as well as child development. And it's going to be quite competitive, so we're looking forward to the interviews. And then we have a second opportunity, which is going to be students that will be doing an externship for information technology. So these are students who are interested in the technology pathway, and they're going to be supporting our secondary campus for summer school. We're excited. Mount McCormick's excited. We're all pretty happy about it. And they're going to be helping prepare laptops with distribution, with tech support, of course, with summer school and Apex. So we're excited about those opportunities as well. and EMT. This is our second year with CNA, or I'm sorry, our first year. We just recruited her for our second cohort for CNA. One of the things that we really want to do is bring the EMT opportunity to our schools. So we've partnered with SAGE. SAGE Training has been working with Manassas City for several years, and so Lisa was awesome and helped facilitate the opportunity for us to allow 12 of our students to go through and do a pretty intense program this summer. And it's going to be Tuesday through Thursday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., part virtually, mostly in person, and it's going to be at the Buck Hall Firehouse, including Sundays all day, 9 to 4. So it's a pretty select group. The individuals that are eligible to take part in this, again, there are only 12 spots. They have to have completed both our health and medical science, intro to health and medical sciences, as well as medical terminology. And at the end of this, they will be able to sit for the basic
National Registry EMT exam.
the National Registry EMT exam. So that's a very exciting program. The students that have been identified have already gotten their permission slips in. We're really excited. They've gone through. The parents have already completed all of the necessary paperwork, and we're rocking and rolling with that. We're excited. All right.
Could I say one more thing about
Yes.
EMT? So EMT, this is our first step, This is our first step in the partnership with SAGE and potentially Manassas City Schools to bring EMT back into our course offerings. The long-term plan, still TBD, but long-term plan, is to offer this summer for specifically for our rising seniors, to give us a little bit more time to iron out the details of that partnership. And then ideally, we would then offer this as part of our regular course offerings come the fall of 2025 in a partnership with Manassas City Public Schools and Sage Training to kind of grow that pathway. So this is kind of our baby step into how do we bring this back in to what we can offer to our students. Got a question?
After.
Okay.
All right, well, I think, look, that's us.
That's us. Here we are. All right. Any questions?
All right.
Thank you all for your time tonight.
Thank you.
All right, who's got questions? I have some, but I'll go last because I always have
Okay.
questions. Anything?
It's cooking. Give me a minute.
All right. Dr. Jones, you?
I don't have a question, but wow, thank you. This is amazing. I know we always, a lot of us, or I think all of us, are very passionate about CTE programs and what's happening in the schools, and to see this, I think kind of answers the questions we've had for a little while, just about what's going on with our CTE program. So thank you so much, and I know, I guess I speak for the board when I say if you all need anything from us, like we definitely are, this is something
Thank
that we
you.
definitely will support. So thank you for all of your hard
Anybody
work.
willing to come teach facts? Can anybody pass a facts praxis? Just saying.
I promise it's a fun class to teach. I loved it. But honestly, if anybody from the board or anybody from the community wants to come on Wednesday, our doors are wide open. I think that that's been a big part of Lisa and I growing our CTE and work-based learning is opening our doors to the community, opening our doors to the students to find out what they're interested in, and that has gone a really long way. One of the things that we didn't highlight is that we had one of our community groups, they said, hey, we want to volunteer, how can we do it? And they came in and they did a full career panel for 60 students. They brought in, hosted, like it was amazing, 5 people from 5 different career pathways sitting and speaking to 60 of our, CTE students. And then the following week, they were like, yes, we'd like to make a donation towards the Bell Foundation. And it's not something we expected. Obviously, we wanted that 1 hour of their time, and it was just kind of opening the door to those partnerships. Yeah.
I did have a question. Are you ready, Michael?
Go ahead.
Okay, I did have a question. I love that we're offering all these opportunities for the high school students. It's amazing. I was wondering if there's any plans, any point to kind of filter down to like the middle school, maybe even 8th grade, because you talked about advertising, even if it's just advertising to them before they come to you guys as 9th graders. I don't know if that's a long-term.
I can tell about my dream plan. A big part of it is in the future, one of the biggest things I know, we've talked about it. We did a CTE fair for our current students before course selection. We would like to be in the middle school as well. It is really important to us that when a student is walking into the high school, they're not now identifying their pathway. I want you to already know and know how to pivot when it's not necessarily working out for you. So one of the things that we found to be the most powerful during the CTE fair is that it wasn't the teachers promoting. It was the students who have already taken those courses, and they had hands-on projects to say, I'm not going to tell you about how we learned about how fetuses grow. Instead, let me show you what I've done. And I felt that that was extremely powerful for the students to hear from other students, and I think for middle schoolers, that would just be a really awesome time.
I would add to that there is work and good stuff happening on the teacher side of that connection between middle school and high school. So for example, in our pre-service week, when that Fab Lab experience on design thinking, that's going to be all of our STEM teachers, plus our middle school and high school CTE teachers. And I know we kind of talk about STEM and CTE as different. In my head, it's really the same thing, right? So STEM is the elementary version of setting up what careers look like and exploring different options to solve problems and make the world a better place, et cetera, et cetera. And so we have been fortunate that we've had division-wide professional learning days where we have some flexibility in order to bring all of those people together to really talk about, all right, this is what I'm doing here, and that's what it looks like over at the high school, and those types of things. So I think that having those experiences for the teachers help to bring the programs to be more real. And anecdotally, having things on the same campus is super helpful. We have a teacher teaching career investigations at our middle school. And he sent me an email. He's like, Lisa, there's a student that thinks they want to be a nurse. They want to work in pediatric nursing. What can you tell me about the nurse aid program? I said, I'll do you one better. Let me come pick them up. I'll take them over to the classroom. I'll show them what it looks like. So because we're all close and have that ability to walk back and forth, we can handle those issues and that exposure in really authentic, real-time things. Caveat, as long as Lisa is on the campus or the teachers know each other and can communicate right away. But we do have some freedom to do those things without doing a big thing and scheduling spaces and people and time to really have those conversations. And sometimes that can be more meaningful to a student than the busy career fair, right?
Well, and also, in the past, some of our clubs and CTSOs have reached down to 8th graders. So FBLA, one of the things that they just did was introduce a middle division, so now 8th graders can participate. You know, it's a different level of participation. Our robotics has always welcomed the middle schoolers over. So again, that super campus model and the marketing as well.
The CTE survey, they
Yep.
include the middle school.
We always include the middle school for our CTE survey, but that super campus model really does allow us, when we need something, honestly, I just wander over and I'm like, hey, Marbury, I got a question, since you're here, you know, and that has just allowed us to open a lot of doors and communication and sharing facility. They sometimes can walk over and just take a field trip of the CNA program, and that's been really helpful.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
So, looking forward to the future, you're really piloting the EMT program and trying to get that off the ground. Is there at least discussion to work with Manassas Park Fire Department to eventually get firefighting one and basically become, the city schools become a pipeline for recruits to the fire department?
Yep, give me a wing and a field. I'll make it happen.
Yep. They are actually already going to be partnering with us, and one of the things that they're doing is they're coming to our event on Wednesday to discuss what that is going to look like. They've already opened their doors and said, hey, if you have a student that's interested, we're so happy to take them on a ride along. The communication has been wonderful, and that is something that we absolutely want to grow because, you know, we know that firefighters are in high demand, EMTs are in high demand. It's better to grow within our own community.
Awesome. Ahead of the game. Thank you.
Yep. Always invite them to events. We invite everybody.
Yeah, and quite frankly, they're fantastic partners.
They are.
They have never said no to a request. They are always welcome our students. And matter of fact, any kid that is 16 or older that wants to go volunteer to do ride time can go down to the fire station and sign up to do ride time and get to experience what that looks like. So they are very open to that and absolutely have a need for our students. I'm more than happy to do that partnership.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Alexander, I see you getting ready.
Okay, so, well, first off, again, I normally don't repeat what other board members have already said, but this was an amazing presentation. And when Dr. Saunders came on, one of the main initiatives that we spoke with her about during the interview process was CTE and really getting this rolling. So, I mean, it's amazing to see how far you guys have come, you know, in such a short amount of time. So it's you know, my hat's off to you. It's incredible, and this is an amazing presentation. So I greatly appreciate it. So you mentioned a couple of things. Slide 4, just for board members, if they're interested, that data is in our is in the consent agenda information. That was the state data. So that's just in case board members want to see it, it's in there. If they want to take a look at the actual numbers. I was very happy to hear about the when you mentioned the prerequisites and being able to pivot. Like I was looking at the mechatronics layout, and I was wondering, I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know too many 7th graders that know right off the bat that they want to start down mechatronics. So
Exactly, yeah.
it was it's good to know that, you know, kids, you're not missing the boat by coming in your 9th grade years and stuff like that. So I really appreciate how you've designed it to be kind of open so that kids can come in and out of it. I did, just as a feedback standpoint, I did get, I know a couple of the businesses that have attended the Coffee with Contractors and the owners of those businesses that have gotten really positive feedback from them as well. So again, they had rave reviews of you guys. So again, hats off to you on that.
They've been wonderful partners, honestly.
Yeah.
They've been outstanding partners.
The my own observation from my own life in the personal world is a lot of kids come in, and so when you mentioned interviews and stuff like that, again, I've mentioned it in the past, that to me is one of the biggest things. Teaching, you know, it's one thing to teach a skill set, but it's another thing to teach the youth how to sell themselves, how to present in an interview, you know, everything from what to, you know, where, just all of those things. So again, I'm just very, very excited about this. The 2 questions are, one, would you mind giving Ms. Williams the info for the radio show so she could kind of send that out to us to send out so we could listen in on it?
Absolutely. So we're going to have 2 different recordings. The first one, once it airs on May 14th, then the ELR Real World Leaders Radio will send me the recorded, and I would love to see it on our website for parents just to honestly hear everything that is happening. And very few schools get asked back. Our school has done it with such excellence that we've been asked back twice in 1 year. So, you know, just a little bit of kudos to the way our students prepare and the way that they present themselves, and the way our school, honestly, is extremely accommodating to me, saying, hey, I'm pulling these 10 kids for Cougar Time on this day, and they're like, here's the space, here are the headphones, here's everything, and we're already one-to-one, and it has just made everything really seamless.
I'm sure we could figure out a way to get that pushed out.
Yes, as soon as I get the recording, I'll send it right over.
And then the only other question was, this is kind of for, again, forward thinking, is would it be possible, you know, like a year from now or even 6 months from now to start to see the participation data, you know, how many kids are, you know, enrolling year to year, the growth of each program, like, just so we can start seeing progress and the trends that go with it.
Absolutely, yeah, we're tracking it all, so we'll have the data available.
And in fact, that data is it's reported to the state annually. We already have, I mean, I can give you the back data to show you what courses we've had, what I mentioned student enrollment demographics report. It's a thing. So I can send, when it's available, when we submit the master collection, I can send that to you all for this year. And if people are interested in like the past 3 years or however many years that you're interested in that data, I can pull that all. It is available right now. So that is the long way of saying yes.
And then I'm tracking by type of work-based learning experience and how many have participated in each one.
That's awesome.
So we're tracking all of it. Yeah.
Thank you all for
Yeah.
your time.
Thank you.
It's a joy to do this work and have this time to share it with you all.
Thank you very much. This was incredible.
Thank you, guys.
Really
We appreciate your support.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
wonderful.
All right. So, moving on to upcoming meetings. We have a regular school board meeting Monday, May 20th, 6:59, board chambers on the 2nd floor. And a regular school board meeting June 3rd, 6:59, board chambers, 2nd floor. Do we have board member comments? Who wants to lead us off?
I'll go ahead. I just wanted to say, especially to everyone sitting here, I think that experiences are just important part of education for the students, as well as like the teaching and learning that happens day to day. So I just wanted to thank everyone sitting here for presenting on all of the hard work that you have been curating and planning these experiences for our students and our community. We know it takes a lot of hard work and some time. A lot of times it's over hours, such as right now, right? You guys are definitely working overtime, but Manassas Park is better because of it. So thank you all for everything that you do. You may not hear it very often from us, but we do appreciate everything that you guys do. So thank you.
I echo those sentiments. I did not get to say thank you to the summer learning team, so thank you all very much. I'm definitely excited to see what this summer's going to look like.
Summer is going to be awesome with those students. I just got to say it differently. I mean, kudos to the amount of planning and creativity you have put into the situation with, limited resources. So congratulations. I really look forward to hearing and seeing the results, especially with the youngins as they grow.
Miles?
Hi, everybody. So Monday, May 20th, we have a choir concert. So this might be my last meeting before I graduate.
What?
Which is shocking. But please continue to support the high school. We have Multicultural Night coming up this week on April 25th. Michael Mejia, who is the leader of our multicultural club called United and Strong, has been doing an excellent job putting that together. And it's always a great event every single year. There's going to be food, performances. It's awesome. Shout out to Mrs. Ahmad and Ms. Wolf. Thank you so much for all you do. I am still a little salty that we got that in place after I am graduating, but all the more to say, it's amazing to see what y'all are doing and creating students that are ready to go into the workforce and that understand and know what they want to do in the future is super important. So I appreciate you both for that. And shout out to my 5th grade teacher, the amazing Dr. Kristen Marbury. Now, congratulations. I just wanted to say that. And summer school is in great hands. I know I likely won't be there this year as an aide, but I am super excited for all the students and the amazing leadership that they're going to have this year. I don't think I have anything else to say. So, yeah.
Thank you to you guys for planning the summer school thing. I'm super excited about that. I liked volunteering last year. And you guys are doing a great job with that. And also shout out to Hamad and Wolf for the CTE things and the work-based learning. I already have my packet filled out for theater with working with construction, so I'm turning that in tomorrow. But yeah, I have some little things to say. This Wednesday at Texas Roadhouse, we are having a fundraiser for The Little Mermaid. I actually don't know the time, but I know we're having the fundraiser. I think it's probably, do you know what time? I think it's at 7?
I've been absent for 2 days.
You're right. You weren't there. I think it's at 7. I don't know. Yeah, 6 to 8. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Thank you. May 2nd, next week, is our opening night for The Little Mermaid. It is at 7 p.m., 6:59 p.m. The 3rd through 4th is also at 7, and then the 5th is our matinee. What time is that?
3.
At 3 p.m. Okay, I need to write that down. And our family market is May 9th. That's our next one that's coming up. And I'm pretty sure that's all that I have today.
All right. Just echoing the sentiment again. Very excited about the momentum that we've had with CTE. Also, I'm assuming, Ms. Rupert, there will be some sponsoring of Bang Bagels for the teachers, kind of like we did last year. So I'm
really excited that you brought that up.
Yeah.
That would be great.
So I'm assuming you'll reach out to kind of let us know. So if we wanted to do something for staff, we can. All right, cool.
And also, while you have Spotlight on me, there's a social emotional learning night coming up on April 30th from 5 to 7 in the, what's it called? Park Plaza? Park Plaza, yes, please join.
Awesome.
There's going to be therapy ponies and dogs and ice cream and books. So come on down.
Awesome. All right.
May 3rd, Special Olympics in Manassas City.
You guys need to do better with your dates.
Yeah, I know. Where are you guys on those?
Okay, I'm sorry. I got the email. I can't make it
Yeah.
to participate, so I didn't put it in my calendar. I'm
All right.
sorry.
So with that being the case, we're going to go into, we have a short recess because we have to go into a closed meeting. So that being the case,
You have to do the yeah.
yeah. No, do we do the motion to go into closed?
Yeah.
once-
I'm ready to read.
Okay, all right. We do that upstairs though.
Do we do it down here or upstairs?
You're going to take a short recess.
Yeah, we're going to do a
You don't
recess
need to-
now, and then
Okay.
we'll do
And then
that
we're gonna
upstairs.
Open, close upstairs,
See?
yes.
I was ready.
You really want to read it?
No, I was just ready.
All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.